Welcome, subscribers and guests. You're listening to DoublePlusMedia News. Let's go! Bright FM online. Norway pay and arrange private jet to get Taliban leaders to meeting in Norway. The Taliban delegation, which will attend Sunday's Oslo meeting, has now left Kabul. According to Taliban spokesman, the delegation set a route for Norway on a private plane to hold talks with representatives from different countries and Afghan representatives on humanitarian aid, politics, education, and economic issues. Commentary. Well, I guess Norway is going to try and help civilize the Taliban. I mean, if they're willing to go to Norway, they might be willing to advance their civilization. But it also feels like it adds insult to injury. An imposed West would never survive in Afghanistan, but maybe Western comforts are a bridge into Western ideals? I guess we'll see. HindustanTimes.com. Canada's Trudeau vows action after 4 Indians freeze to death at border with U.S. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on Friday vowed action on human trafficking after the quote-unquote mind-blowing death of 4 Indian nationals who froze to death while allegedly trying to illegally cross the border between Canada and the United States. Quote, "It was an absolutely mind-blowing story. It's so tragic to see a family die like that, victims of human traffickers and of people who took advantage of their desire to build a better life," unquote, Trudeau said. Commentary. This is tragic. Trudeau is such a fake politician to me. I doubt his words mean much to anyone. That's the problem when you're not a leader but a mouthpiece to your party. I doubt people trust and respect Trudeau at this point. Loser. Yahoo News. China warns of no mercy in corruption and monopoly crackdown. China has vowed to ramp up its regulatory crackdown and show quote-unquote no mercy against corruption as the ruling Communist Party gears up for a key meeting that could secure President Xi Jinping a third term. The announcement suggests authorities have no plans to rein in investigations that engulfed China's tech industry last year, or an ongoing hunt for corruption that has brought down high-flying up politicians and influential tycoons. Commentary. Haha, crackdown. Their entire system is based on corruption. It starts at the very top. 2 channels on YouTube that are great at highlighting these issues in China are China Observer and China Insights. Highly recommended. Vice. Many scientists have proposed that we are entering a 6th mass extinction, this time driven by human activity. Quote, "Denying it is simply flying in the face of a mountain of data that is rapidly accumulating, and there is no longer room for skepticism, wondering whether it really is happening," unquote. Over the last 450 million years, life on Earth has been devastated by at least 5 mass extinctions, which are typically defined as catastrophes that wipe out more than 75% of species in a short amount of time. Past studies have used IUCN data to refute the notion that we are entering a 6th mass extinction. Cowie and his colleagues pushed back on this assumption by compiling extinction rates and land snails and slugs. Extrapolating from those data, the team concluded that anywhere from 7.5 and 13% of species may have become extinct since the year 1500, a figure that is in line with many other estimates that suggest catastrophic biodiversity losses due to human pressures. Commentary. I hope we can get past the alarmism. I blame the environmental movement on this, on top of large media news and social media news. This is why I created this channel, so I could read the news in a plain voice and then bring some critical thinking where I could. We need to end the constant fear-mongering and start working towards solutions. We need to start with information and research that is shared in a way that invites people to participate in a brighter future. We innovate all the time. Did you know that some countries can make power from garbage? France24.com. Studies are underway to find out the precise characteristics of the latest COVID-19 variant, BA2. It already accounts for the majority of most recent cases in a number of countries, including India, Denmark, and Sweden. Commentary. Okay, another variant. This will be happening all the time. If you're vulnerable, protect yourself. Moving on. Sky News. Ukraine crisis. Moscow accepts UK talks invite amid fears Russian invasion is quote-unquote imminent. The latest diplomatic maneuvers come after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in Switzerland in a bid to avert a conflict on the border of the former Soviet Republic, where Moscow has amassed an estimated 100,000 troops. Russia's defense minister has accepted an invitation to meet his UK counterpart Ben Wallace amid fears that an invasion of Ukraine is quote-unquote imminent. Commentary. Yeah, there are a ton of stories about this progression. A few of the headlines are: Russian to conduct missile tests in Irish patrolled waters, Romania and Bulgaria slam Russians' demand to move NATO troops as quote-unquote unacceptable, Ukraine says Germany encouraging Putin by refusing to supply weapons, Russian politicians mock Boris Johnson and threaten nuclear attack on London. One of the stories that stands out, 479 leaked photos purporting to show Putin's secret palace with an ice rink and pole dancing room. Take off those skates, Ivanka. I mean, where did these photos photos come from? Someone close to Putin? Being released at a time like this, I think, is a direct statement that Western nations have access to Putin's most vulnerable spots. A little bit of digging shows that the people in Russia don't necessarily know Putin. Newsweek reports Pavlovsky, a 66-year-old former Soviet dissident, worked for the Kremlin under both Yeltsin and Putin. One of the architects of Russia's quote-unquote managed democracy, he was dismissed in 2011 for opposing Putin's third presidential term. Quote, "We enacted a whole story about a spy who had ensconced himself among the authorities and then suddenly emerged and went over to the side of the people," unquote, he recalls. Quote, "As if the Kremlin gates had opened up and out of them came a people's president, one who, unlike Yeltsin and the Soviet leaders before him, spoke the language of the people. He was like an actor who learnt and improved on the part given to him." It continues, "Numerous investigations by opposition journalists have revealed that the Kremlin struggles to get Russians to attend, at least voluntarily, rallies in support of the president, and is forced to strong-arm government employees or students to boost turnout." Quote, "I don't support Putin," Shevstova says. Quote, "But who else am I going to turn to for help? This is a dictatorship. I have no other choice," unquote. The Russian people don't seem very unified. He's also been softened by Western comforts. Because of this, I feel like Putin is actually in a position of weakness, not strength. But with Joe Biden as president, prepare for war, folks. Thanks for listening, and a double plus thanks to likes, comments, and subscribers.